It's harvest time at Huber's Orchard and Winery, in this case Chardonnay, which will soon be made into one of Huber's award-winning wines. But there's another award-winning line of products being made right here in Starlight, Indiana, distilled spirits. Master distiller Jason Heilingberg gave us a tour.
Last week, these were whole apples, pressed into apple juice, and then fermentation took about 7 to 8 days. Now it's hard apple cider, basically, and we're going to get all the good alcohol out of it. The distillation that we're running now is called a stripping run. This is the first distillation. We're just trying to get the spirits, get the alcohol, separate it from the apple wine, and collect it. After this, we'll actually do a second distillation, making a very nice, clean spirit that's ready to go into the barrel after dilution.
Jason describes distilling as a blend of science and art, and these barrels, typically made of American or French oak, are a great example of that.
For instance, here we're distilling apple brandy. This should smell and taste like apple when it comes out of the still. Whenever we put it into the barrel, it's going to give it the oak and vanilla caramel type flavors that the barrel provides. These barrels are toasted, and over the course of time that integration of the oak makes the spirit smoother as well. What begins as a clear spirit after approximately 3 years in the barrel would have a nice amber color to it. And this will actually age for about 2 to 3 more years before we would bottle it.
Like most things for the Hubers, who've been in business for more than a century and a half, they have a history with distilling.
We were distilling and brandies and etc. all the way through the 1800s, all the way to Prohibition. And from Prohibition to 2001, there was really no law in Indiana that would allow us to do what we're doing today.
So in 2001, Huber worked with the state legislature to change that. That same year, Starlight Distillery began production, but it was late in 2004 when their first products became available to consumers.
You're dealing with products that are literally 5 to 6 years after you make them before they're really hitting the market. A lot of our reserve brandies took that long before we first introduced them. So we had all the upfront cost and all the upfront financial layout done years and years ago, long before the products ever came out.
So why do this at all? Why struggle to change laws? Diversification, something the Hubers have been committed to for over 150 years.
One of the key things of our entire success goes back multiple generations, back to 1843 when Simon first started here. He never did one fruit. We always did multiple crops. And as the generations came up, we kept diversifying into different value added and then eventually into retail. The distillery just adds that much more diversity into our overall company.
And Ted's looking for even greater diversity in the future. Along with others in the industry, he's back at the State House this year, pushing a new Indiana craft spirits law. If passed, it would allow others to join Huber in producing not just brandy, but also vodkas, gins, and other distilled spirits.
Under the new law that's written right now, if it passes, we'll have some restrictions that the Indiana population knows when they go to that distillery, that distillery is making those products, not just buying them from somebody else and bottling them under their name. And so when the customers visit that, they have the assurance that those distillers in the back room are making the products that they're drinking in the front room.